لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه وخليله أرسله الله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله وكفى بالله شهيدا. أما بعد. And continuing with our lesson on Al-Hasad, or envy. We spoke yesterday about envy being one of the three sins that all of the other sins in the world find its origin back to. We come to the part where we talk about the jealousy of the individual and what leads to, the envy of the individual, what leads to envy. Some of the asbab, and I'll mention 6 inshallah ta'ala. قال ابن القيم رحمه الله تعالى الحاسد تعينه الشيطان بلا استدعاء منه للشيطان لأن الحاسد شبيه بإبليس وهو في الحقيقة من أتباعه لأنه يطلب ما يحبه الشيطان من فساد الناس وزوال نعم الله عنهم. انتهى كلامه رحمه الله تعالى. Ibn al-Qayyim رحمه الله تعالى, he said that envious person is being aided and assisted by shaitan even though he did not ask for shaitan's assistance. Even though he did not ask for shaitan's assistance, simply because the envious individual resembles the shaitan. In reality, he is actually from amongst the followers of shaitan, because he seeks just like shaitan, but because he seeks to remove the blessing from an individual just like shaitan does. Any blessing that you have, the shaitan's desire, his number one ambition is to see that blessing removed from you. And so when a person is envious of you, in essence, he is playing the role of shaitan. He is from the helpers of shaitan, and he gets the assistance of shaitan even though he didn't ask for it. And what the envious individual doesn't realize is that his envy harms his faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As a matter of fact, a person can't be a complete believer in Allah and be envious of another believer. Notice I said complete believer. I didn't say he was not a believer. Meaning his iman is naqis, his iman is deficient, as it was mentioned on the authority of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he said on the authority of Abu Hurairah, who said that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, لا يجتمعان في قلب عبد الإيمان والحسد رواه النسائي. On the authority of Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu, who said that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that iman and envy will not be united in the heart of one believer, of one servant. There's no way that a person can be a complete believer in Allah and be envious of another Muslim, envious of another believer. This cannot happen. And the same thing the Prophet ﷺ said about ghina, about music. لا يجتمعان في قلب المؤمن الغنى والإيمان, that the love of music and the love of belief and faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cannot be united in one heart. You can't love music and love the Quran. You can't love the Quran of shaitan and the Quran of Ar-Rahman. Can't happen. That when one comes, the other one goes. When one sin comes, the other one goes. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned in another hadith, إِنَّ الرَّجُلَ لَا يَأْتِي بِأَدْنَى بَادِرَةٍ فيكفر وإن الحسد لا يأكل الإيمان كما تأكل النار الحطب. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that a man may commit a sin. أدنى بادرة, he may commit a sin out of rage, and then there may be a way for him to atone for that. He may be able to atone for that. فيكفر أن, he atones for that sin. He said, with the exception of envy. Person doesn't atone from envy simply because envy eats away at your iman, just like fire eats away at wood. Envy eats away, devours the iman of the believer, just as fire would devour wood. A man could commit a sin and atone for the sin between him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Once envy creeps into the heart of the person, it eats away at the person's iman, at their faith, and there's no atoning for that. And the person's faith begins to plummet because the shaitan would love to see, or this individual would love to see nothing more than the person that he is envious of to be just like him. We say that misery loves company. Envy loves company. When you are envious of someone, you want everything that they have to be taken away from them so they can be just like you. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran about the Jews and their relationship with the Muslims. وَدُّوا كَثِيرًا وَدُّوا لَوْ تَكْفُرُونَ كَمَا كَفَرُوا فَتَكُونُوا سَوَاءً. That they want you to disbelieve just like they disbelieve so that you guys can be equal. If you notice anytime that you work at a job and you may have non-Muslims that work around you that are not religious. They're not religious people. They look at you and they say to themselves when they see you with your beard or with as a woman with her hijab, who are you to actually practice a religion and believe in God to such a degree? And so they work diligently, talking about you behind your back, slandering you, trying to get you fired, trying to get you to commit zina, trying to get you to go out and have a drink, trying to get you to, talk about the boss along with them so they can run behind your back, tell on you, get you fired. All they want is for you to stop practicing your religion. That's it. Because in their minds, they feel that I am not on that level to do that, and I don't want you to have it either. وَدُّوا لَوْ تَكْفُرُونَ كَمَا كَفَرُوا فَتَكُونُوا سَوَاءً. They wish that you would disbelieve just like they disbelieve so that you would be sawa'a, so that you would be equals. They want you to go out to happy hour with them and have a drink. You say, no, I'm Muslim, I don't drink. Oh, come on, me and some of the guys are going out after work to happy hour to have a drink. No, I don't drink, I'm sorry. They won't let you live with that. They won't let you live with the fact that you don't drink. We're going to make you drink. We're going to impose our lifestyle on you. Women at your job, you tell the woman you be respectful as possible. Good morning, how you doing? You keep your distance, you maintain your boundaries, and she's constantly transgressing, infringing on your personal space. You tell the woman, I'm married, I'm Muslim, I don't get down like that, and she still continues because in her mind, I'm going to strip you of your religion. I'm going to prove to you that you are not religious. I want you to be just like me. My life is messed up. My life is messed up from the bottom to the top, and I want yours to be just like mine. وَدُّوا لَوْ تَكْفُرُونَ كَمَا كَفَرُوا فَتَكُونُوا سَوَاءً. They wish that you would disbelieve just like they disbelieve so that you could be equal. You could be the same. And this is envy. The envious person. We say misery loves company. Envy loves company. And it was because of this, Muawiyah radiallahu anhu, he said, أستطيع أن أرضي الناس جميعهم إلا حاسد نعمة الله فإنه لا يرضيه إلا زوالها. وفي رواية قال الحاسد لا يرضى إلا بزوال النعمة. Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan radiallahu anhu, he said, I have the ability to please anybody from amongst the people. أستطيع أن أرضي الناس جميعهم. I have the ability to please just about everybody, with the exception of the envious person. He said, because nothing will please an envious individual except to see the blessing that I have taken away from me. He will never be satisfied. You know that a person is envious of you for whatever reason, because what they may perceive to be a blessing may actually be a test for you. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you with money, that's a test for you. But to a person on the outside of you, he's looking at you saying, I want what he has, he doesn't deserve to have it. I'm religious, I'm righteous, I pray, I fast, I obey Allah. I lower my gaze. I fast the month of Ramadan. I do everything I'm supposed to do. Why did Allah give it to him and not to me? Why him and not me? He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't pray. He doesn't fast. He doesn't obey Allah. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is blessing an individual and he continues to disobey Allah, it is not a blessing. It's not a blessing. Imam Ahmed rahimahullah ta'ala, he said, إِذَا رَأَيْتُ رَجُلًا قَدْ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَهُوَ مُصِرٌّ عَلَى مَعْصِيَةِ اللَّهِ فَاعْلَمْ أَنَّهُ اسْتِدْرَاجٌ يَسْتَدْرِجُهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَعْلَمُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَعْلَمُ. That Imam Ahmed rahimahullah ta'ala said that if you see Allah continuously blessing a person while he is continuously being disobedient to Allah, then know that it is istidraj. It is Allah taking him step by step by step to his eventual destruction. It is not a blessing. But from the outside, you're so envious, so inundated, so blinded by your envy that you perceive it as a blessing. But it may not actually be a blessing for you. As Shu'aib, he said, هَذَا مِنْ فَضْلِ رَبِّي لِيَبْلُوَنِي أَأَشْكُرْ أَمْ أَكْفُرْ. This is from the bounty of my Lord to test me, to see if I'm going to be grateful or ungrateful. So any blessing that a person is given is essentially a test. Any blessing that you're given is a test to see if you're going to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for it, or you're going to be ungrateful for it. But the person who is envious is so inundated, so intoxicated, inebriated by his envy that he perceives every good fortune that comes to you to be a blessing, when in fact it may actually be a test for you. But he's so blinded he can't see such. So Muawiyah radiallahu anhu, he said, I have the ability to please anybody, any random individual from amongst the creation, with the exception of the envious individual. Nothing will please him except to see the bounty of Allah taken away from me. The only thing that will make the person happy is to see me stripped of every blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me. Only then will he be satisfied. Only then will the person be satisfied. In another narration, he said, Hasad la yarda illa bizawal ni'mah. That the envious person, the only thing that will please him is to see the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taken away from you. And these are the type of people, subhanAllah, these are the type of people that when you fall on hard times, whether financially or spiritually in your religion, these are the people who rejoice. See, I told you he wasn't all of that religious. See, I told you he was. They were just waiting for the moment for you to fall on hard times so they can rejoice. SubhanAllah. Who rejoices at the downfall of their brother? What type of believer in Allah in the last day rejoices at the downfall of their brother? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentioned in a hadith, لا تظهروا الشماتة لأخيك أو يعافيه الله ويبتليك. Do not show satisfaction, do not show rejoicement, or do not rejoice at the downfall of your brother, or at least Allah will have mercy on him and test you with what he's testing him with. The moment you show happiness, signs of enjoyment, you rejoice at the shortcoming of your brother, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will test you with the same thing he's testing him with. That's not a moment to rejoice. That's a moment to be happy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not test you with what he tested him with. وَلَوْ شَاءَ رَبُّكَ لَكُنْتَ أَيْضًا مِثْلَهُمْ فَالْقُلُوبَ بَيْنَ أَصَابِرَ الرَّحْمَانِ. As Ibn Qayyim mentioned in the line of poetry, that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had so willed, he could have made you just like them, because the hearts of the children of Adam are in between the two fingers of Ar-Rahman. يُقَلِّبُهَا كَيْفَ يَشَاءُ. He changes the hearts however he wills. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tested this person with this, then you should say, Alhamdulillah, الَّذِي عَافَانِي مِمَّا بَتَلَهُ بِهِ وَفَضَّلَنِي عَلَى كَثِيرًا مِمَّنْ خَلَقَ تَفْضِيلًا. All praises due to Allah, who has spared me from what he has tested him with and has favored me over much of his creation. Has favored me much. But not to rejoice when you see someone fall on hard times, whether financially or spiritually. You see them doing, going through difficult time in their religion, and you use that as a moment to validate yourself, to say, subhanAllah, I knew this individual. I knew this was going to happen to the person. But this is the envious individual. And some of the asbab, some of the things that lead to envy, some of the reasons that cause a person to be envious, I'm going to mention 6 inshallah ta'ala, breeze through them very quickly. Number 1, at-tarafu' wa ta'azzur, is the desire to see yourself above everybody else. The desire or the ambition to be above everyone else. This is from the asbab, from the reasons that would cause an individual to be envious. The desire to be above everyone else. So when someone we know attains a particular status that may place him above us, whether in marriage or money, children, status, we become envious of the person. You'll find this happen a lot of times with women. Women will be single, a group of them single. Then when one of them gets married, she now is above the rest of the crowd because everyone else is single and now she's married. And then you'll find that she uses this as an opportunity to look down on the other women that are not married. You women, I don't know what your problem is. You guys need to get married. It's like, subhanAllah. Just yesterday, you were just like us single. And now today, you look down on everybody that's not married. But using that to put yourself in a higher place, a higher position. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran that the Quraysh, they used to say about the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَقَالُوا لَوْ نُزِّلَ هَذَا الْقُرْآنُ عَلَى رَجُلٍ مِنَ الْقَرْيَتَيْنِ عَظِيمٍ. They said, why isn't this Quran just revealed to someone else? Why isn't this Quran revealed to someone else from the 2 major cities, Mecca and Ta'if? Why did it have to be revealed to Muhammad? Why did it have to be revealed to Muhammad? And they were referring to Walid ibn Mughira from Mecca and Habib ibn Umar or Amr al-Thaqafi in Ta'if. Number 2, seeing yourself as more than what you really are. Envy. What leads to envy is seeing yourself more than what you actually are. Self-aggrandizement. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَقَالُوا مَا أَنْتُمْ إِلَّا بَشَرٌ مِثْلُنَا وَمَا أَنزَلَ الرَّحْمَنُ مِنْ شَيْءٍ إِنْ أَنْتُمْ إِلَّا تَكْذِبُونَ. And they used to say to the Prophet ﷺ and the Sahaba, you are nothing more than men just like us. They want to equal the playing field because they see themselves to be on your level. So because Allah has blessed you with something, you have others who consider themselves to be equal with you, not wanting to recognize the blessing that you have. Oh, he's just like us. You have a man who spends his whole life, 10 years of his life, sitting at the feet of a scholar. Sitting at the feet of scholars, learning from pure, pristine understanding of Islam, and then come back to America and have an individual who has a master's degree in science or mathematics or any other field of knowledge, and he considers himself on the same level as someone who spent a decade of his life, 2 decades of his life, sitting at the feet of renowned scholars of Islam. Renowned scholars, memorize Sahih Bukhari, memorize Sahih Muslim, memorize the Quran, memorize this and that, and understands fiqh, understands the books of fiqh, and to come back to America and have someone who has a master's degree in science and technology consider him to be on the same level as you. SubhanAllah. Ashandak. Well, what do you have of Islamic knowledge that you can consider yourself an equal? And this will be the same individual to raise his hand and challenge you in front of everybody in the Halaqa. And you're saying to yourself, SubhanAllah, I can't even debate with you. You're not even on a level for me to debate with you. Imam Ahmad rahimahullah ta'ala, when he was being tortured for not saying that the Quran was created, Ibn Abi Du'ad, he was the leader of those who were trying to change the belief of the Muslims to say that the Quran was created. Every time he used to say, Ajibni ya Aba Abdullah, answer me, O Abu Abdullah. Imam Ahmad rahimahullah ta'ala used to say to the man, Man anta hatta ujibuk. Who are you so that I respond to you? I'm not going to debate with you. He wanted to debate with Imam Ahmad about the statement that the Quran is created. Imam Ahmad wouldn't even respond to him simply because you're not even a scholar. You're not even on a level for me to respond to you. But they want to level the playing field. They want to make themselves an equal with you. This is what leads to envy, to want to see yourself as an equal to someone because you see someone that has a blessing and you want to make yourself an equal with that person, as opposed to acknowledging the virtue that Allah has given everyone from His bounty. You have a blessing that someone else can't compete with, and you don't want anybody to compete with you in that blessing. So how can you compete with someone else in the blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them? Just acknowledge and recognize the blessing that Allah has given some of us over others. Allah has favored some prophets over other prophets. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala favored some prophets over other prophets. So how can we get mad or get upset because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has favored some of us over others? Acknowledge the blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given everyone and put your heart at rest, put your heart at ease. I'll just mention one more for the sake of time. Fear that someone will compete with you in a virtue that you believe is exclusive to you. So here the second one is you want to compete with everybody else that has a blessing that is above yours. Now the flip side of that is you don't want anybody to compete with you and the blessing that you have. You want to preserve and protect what you have. You don't want anybody to compete with that. And anytime someone starts to come close to the blessing that you have, you become envious of them. You'll find this a lot with students of knowledge. Students of knowledge, imams, scholars. The imam, he's been the imam for 10 years. Imam, his time has passed. His relevance has passed. Everybody has a window. Everyone that has knowledge and has the ability to benefit people, they always have a window, a high point, a pinnacle in their career. And sometimes your success is your failure. Your success is your failure. How does that happen? Because you become so successful in your ability to benefit people that you don't know when to pull away and back away from the situation, that you actually now become a harm and a hindrance for people. You have imams who have been imams 20, 30, 40 years. And their preaching and their teaching is much appreciated, but no longer relevant. You were relevant in a particular period of time. Times have changed. And they will still hold on to the minbar for dear life. And they'll have younger students of knowledge, younger imams coming in, will not train them, will not prepare them, will not develop them. We don't do leadership development in Islam. We want to produce followers. Leaders produce leaders, not followers. A true leader produces other leaders, not followers. We want followers. We want you to follow me for the rest of my life. Until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala call me back, I'm going to be the imam and you're going to follow me. We don't want to develop leaders. Out of fear that someone will outshine us, out of fear that someone will take the position that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us. So now you become a hindrance to people. You can't imagine how many masajid, how many imams are literally holding their communities hostage. People come to the Jumu'ah khutbah and there's absolutely no benefit. People are literally asleep in the Jumu'ah khutbah simply because the message is no longer relevant. It's not relevant anymore. But your success has become your failure. And we seek refuge with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from this. That the Prophet ﷺ produced leaders. Look at what the youth of the Sahaba became. Look at who they became. Usama ibn Zayd, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, Abdullah ibn Abbas, Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As, Abu Hurairah. Look at Abdullah ibn Abbas. Look at the type of people they became. He made dua for Ibn Abbas that he become Tarjuman al-Quran. He become the interpreter of the Quran. He put Usama ibn Zayd, 18 years old, at the head of an army going to attack Rome. 18 years old. Leadership development. We don't want to develop leaders because we want our children to be our followers until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala call us back. Unacceptable. This is not the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then our argument will always be, well, they're not ready. They're immature. They're not ready. The Sahaba were not ready. The youth of the Sahaba, they were not ready for some of the positions that the Prophet ﷺ put them in. And some of them made some major mistakes. But they learned from those mistakes and they became better leaders. A leader doesn't become a leader because he's perfect. A leader becomes a leader because of all of the trial and error, the experiences that he's had in life that made him who he is. A believer doesn't jump off of Mars perfect. That's not a leader. He has made a ton of mistakes in his life. The Prophet ﷺ sent Usama ibn Zayd. He sent Usama ibn Zayd and another companion on a war expedition. And Usama said, we cornered this non-Muslim, we cornered him in between two rocks. He said, when I raised my sword up, the man said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Usama said, my companion from the Ansar, he walked away. He left the situation alone. He said, but me, ta'antuhu bi rumhi hatta mat. I kept stabbing him with my spear over and over and over again until he died. He said, when it reached the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet said to me, أَقَتَلْتَهُ بَعْدَ أَنْ قَالَ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. Did you kill him, Usama, after he said La ilaha illallah? He said, oh Messenger of Allah, he only said it because he knew I was going to kill him. So he only said Shahada, so to protect his life. The Prophet ﷺ said, هَلْ شَقَقْتَ عَنْ صَدْرِي. Did you open his heart to see whether he really believed? Are you judging people's intentions now? You killed him after he said La ilaha illallah. He said, Ya Usama, وَمَاذَا تَفْعَلُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ بَيْنَ يَدَيِ اللَّهِ جَلَّ وَعَلَى بِقَوْلِهِ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. He said, Usama, what are you going to do on the day of judgment? When you stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what are you going to do about his statement, La ilaha illallah? He learned from that mistake. And he kept saying, أَقَتَلْتُهُ بَعْدَ أَنْ قَالَ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. Did you kill him after he said La ilaha illallah? Did you kill him after he said La ilaha illallah? Did you kill him after he said La ilaha illallah? And Usama said, Laytani wulidtu hadha al-yawm. I wish I had not been born until today. Meaning, so I had not committed that sin. I did not make that mistake. And then years later, 18 years old, he puts him at the head of an army. He didn't disqualify him because he made a mistake. He killed the man. But he atoned for it. He made tawbah for it. He learned from his mistake. Mu'adh ibn Jabal used to lead people in the salah. He used to pray with the Prophet ﷺ and don't go lead other people in the salah. And so one day for Salatul Isha, he starts to recite Surah Al-Baqarah, the longest surah in the Quran. So one man decides that I can't stand for Surah Al-Baqarah in the salah, and he left the rank and went and prayed by himself. Mu'adh called the man a hypocrite. When they told Mu'adh, this man, he left the rank and he prayed by himself, Mu'adh said he's a munafiq, he's a hypocrite. When it reached the man that Mu'adh said this about him, he went and told the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet came to Mu'adh, he said, Ya Mu'adh, afattanun anta tuftin nas. He said, إذا أقمت إذا أممت الناس. He said, إذا تؤم الناس فخفف عنهم فإنما ورائك الكبير والصغير وذو حاجة. ذو حاجة. الناس لهم شغلهم. He said to Mu'adh, are you putting people to trial? Are you a fitna for people? A fatanun ant? Are you being a fitna for people? He said, when you stand to lead people in prayer, then be easy on the people behind you. He said, because behind you are those who are elderly, those who are sick, and those who have other business to attend to. Dhu haja. الناس لهم شغلهم, people who have other business to attend to. No one wants to stand in Salatul Isha for Surah Al-Baqarah. No one wants to stand for 2 hours for you to recite Surah Al-Baqarah. But did that disqualify him? No. These became the leaders of his community. Leadership development. Leadership development, brothers and sisters. So, inshallah ta'ala, we'll finish the other one. I kind of got off a little, off of topic a little bit. But just important for us to know that our children, when we put them in positions of leadership, they're going to make mistakes. But they are going to learn from those mistakes. They're going to learn from those mistakes. And they will become better leaders because of it. We want to protect them from making mistakes at all. And in our attempt to protect them from making mistakes, we end up prolonging their immaturity. How will our children become mature except if they make mistakes and they learn from them? لا يلدغ مؤمن في جحر مرتين. The believer will not get stung in the same hole twice. He's going to make a mistake. He's going to learn from it and never do it again. But we can't keep, declining them the positions that are rightfully theirs simply because they're not ready. We weren't ready when we took the positions of leadership that we have in our lives. We weren't ready. And we made a ton of mistakes. Alhamdulillah, we turned out to be okay. هذا وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. وسبحانك ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.